everybody, this is Michael out in Maui. Aloha. So if you've been enjoying all the content that I've been putting out, I'd recommend subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified every single time I put out a new video. If you watch tournaments, you'll notice that all the pros, when they're throwing with their front foot perpendicular to the fairway. And you'll notice when they release the disc, their hips, their foot, and their face are perpendicular to the throw. They are not throwing open to the throw like this. You know, the hips aren't facing forward, their face is not forward, and their foot is not forward when they throw the disc like that. The throw is thrown here. Reach back, throw the disc, your head, hips, and your foot are perpendicular to the throw here. Why is it you want to be perpendicular to your throw? Because that's how your coil is made, and it keeps tension until you release the disc. Like even having this leg backwards is for a reason. Like if you watch the pros, you'll notice when they throw, their head's perpendicular, you know, the foot's perpendicular, hips, but you'll notice this back leg is out the back here, sticking out. You know, their leg is sticking out the back. So they're throwing here, and this leg's back here. So they're throwing like this. This leg is helping to keep your back left hip backwards. You're trying to keep this hip from getting in on the throw. The reason is you're trying to build tension in your body, you know, to throw hard. If this hip comes in on the throw, you can't throw as hard because it's going to release the tension you built up on your reach back. Like when I reach back, you know, you're coming out of your X step, this front leg's hitting the ground, you know, so I'm X step, coil, then you stride out. On that coil, I'm building tension through the core. This tension through the core is what's going to uncoil so I can throw the disc. So if you're reaching back and you built up the coil and you could feel the tension come through here. Now bring this leg around to the front and this hip forward, you lose all that tension. Like it completely relaxes my body, bringing this leg forward. That's why, like I said, when you watch the tournaments, they're always throwing, back leg is behind them, keeps the hip back. Front leg is perpendicular, your hips perpendicular, and your face perpendicular to the throw. When you come back, this coil that you make, because of this stance, locks it in. Then when you hold your breath to uncoil and throw, it's going to have more power from this stance. This stance has built up all the tension. And then when you get to the other side to throw, then it releases, you know, the tension. After the disc is released, you know, the body opens. But if you want maximum power, you've got to throw, like I said, for me, it's the spine, shoulders. You know, that's your rotation. Your hips aren't doing anything. It's the spine that is rotating, you know, to throw the disc. Your hip is staying stationary with your legs to help hold the tension in your body so your upper body can uncoil, you know, faster. So the better you get at this setup, you know, the harder you're going to throw. And like I said, if you ever watch the tournaments, you'll notice that when those guys are ripping on the disc, that's how they're throwing. You know, they're coming in here, you know, they're striding out, reaching back, back legs back. They're throwing here, whole body is perpendicular to the throw. You know, and they're pushing their disc, you know, 400, 500 feet. But they all do this. You know, it's not just some of them. They all throw this way. So I just recommend, you know, you don't want to get your hips in on the throw. If your hips come in on that throw, all you're doing is losing the body tension that you built up on your coil. So it's here, this stays perpendicular, and I think you'll notice you're going to start throwing harder. But the big thing though is you got to remember to hold your breath. You know, get your timing down to where, you know, you reach back, you hold your breath to lock it all in, and then you explode through as hard as you can. Then you breathe once the disc is out of your hands. So anyways, this is Michael from Maui. Aloha.